My name is Chad Trim, and I am a Senior Solutions Architect here at Bonterra. Bonterra's Apricot system was built by experts in the field, specifically for nonprofits and public sector agencies. Our case management software has been proven for over 20 years to help teams easily share their impact and secure funding all in one place. In this video, I'm going to take you through our reporting features. These will help you save a ton of staff time and allow you to pull reports at the drop of a hat and help you meet compliance and secure funding. Let's get to it. First, we're going to dive into our reporting features. With our reporting dashboards, which you see here, it's super easy to visualize your overall progress and impact to keep a pulse on all of your programs, activities, and participants in one place. Now, the dashboards page isn't meant to house every single report you've ever built, just the ones that are most important for your day-to-day work. The nice thing about the dashboards page is it can be program or role specific. That way, all staff members can easily access the data that they need right at their fingertips. You can see here that I'm accessing this from an admin perspective, but I have my list of all of the different standard users that would have a slightly different view of this dashboards page. For example, if I come down to my reminders report here, again, I'm accessing this from an admin perspective where I can see all client reminders, whether it's upcoming assessment due dates or pending referrals across the organization. But if I would switch over to Adam Adult Case Management's view here, you can see that he has much more pared down access, giving him insight into only the clients that are assigned to his specific program. This way, all staff members can easily see the data that they need without being overwhelmed with what they don't. This can work both from a security perspective, but also just a way of streamlining and simplifying the system for staffs. Here are some other report types that are helpful on dashboards pages. Again, this is by no means an exhaustive list of the types of reports, but rather ones that we've seen organizations be successful with. Whether it is reminder reports like those reassessment due dates or pending referrals, or maybe a more simplified data prioritization report. My new client intake report shows any clients enrolled within the past 20 days to ensure that anyone who's new to the program receives extra follow-up. This is also a helpful place to house any sort of data prioritization reports, whether it's client demographics broken down by gender, race, ethnicity, etc., or even, as I was showing in the beginning of the video, a client story over time relating to a specific assessment, where on the left-hand side, I can see the average scores across multiple participants versus maybe just one individual that I'm really focusing in on that week or month. When it comes to pulling more specific information, building both internal reports on your team's progress and external reports for key stakeholders is very simple, and you don't need to work with us to do it, which means that you can spend way less time on the administrative side of things and instead focus more on your actual programs. Reports are built through really simple drag and drop functionality. If I were to go and create a new report here, on something super simple like breakdown of services provided, I'm going to start with a blank slate and easily be able to pull in field choices from any of my forms. So for this example, I'll start by pulling in some identifying information on my clients, like first name, last name, date of birth. What this reflects is all 423 client records that exist within my system as a list. As I start to pull in additional information from my subsequent forms, that number is likely to change. So since we're building a breakdown of services provided, I'll also need to pull in some information from my services form. I'll pull in date of service, service provided, and now it's giving me a count of the number of service documentations that have been done. Sometimes you might be building a report that you just purely want the information listed out here, but oftentimes you'll need a visualization to go along with it. Once I put it in graphic format, the system will always put it in the graph that it thinks makes most sense, depending on what I'm grouping by. It's giving me a breakdown of services provided here in a column format, but that's really easy to change as well. So if I'd rather see it as a pie graph or a donut graph, I can easily make those changes and even get creative with it and change the font formatting or the coloration if I wanted it to match my website or annual report. Once you've published out a report, the report will always be filterable. Filters are a great way to get subsets of information. With my example breakdown of services provided report here, this spans the history of my organization, every service that's ever been provided, which might be helpful to run a report on sometimes, but more often than not, you're going to need a more subsidized subset of information, which is where the filters come into play. I can easily add filters as a regular staff person without the admin privileges to create a brand new report from scratch that gets those subsets on basically anything that I'm capturing information on. Say I wanted to see a breakdown of services provided, but I only wanted to see it within the last 365 days. So basically for 2024 calendar year. I can apply that filter, which again will only affect my copy of this report. That way I can easily revert it back to the master report, and it won't affect anyone else's copy of this report either. We also know that things are always changing throughout the year, and you don't have time to reach out every time you need to update your reporting structure. We make it easy to make changes yourself so that you can meet new funder requirements and ensure your outcomes are as impactful as possible. It's very easy to make adjustments to any previously published out reports that you built yourself, or if you have the admin privileges, reports that others have built previously as well. Say 6 months from now, a funder is requiring me to track some additional points of information in this specific report, I'll easily be able to go in and edit it and add whatever fields are necessary. So maybe they're also wanting me to include some additional pieces of demographic information, like they want the gender identity in this report so that that's a filterable field as well. Once I've added gender identity, all I have to do is publish out this report, run it, and then those changes will be reflected in this new version of the report. I'll be able to see all my same client information, but with gender identity filterable, searchable, and included within this report as well. I hope you found this overview of our reporting tool helpful. If you have any questions or are interested in seeing a full case management demonstration, please schedule a demo using the form. We'd love to help you with any specific data and reporting needs so that you can reach your peak impact as an organization.